Unit 4, Part 11. So let's do some exercises. 3C, these are exercises straight out of the back of the chapter. 3C, translate this. John will not make supper unless he is hungry. Step 1, identify the simple components and abbreviate them, although here we already have our abbreviations given to us, right? So you'll see in these exercises, they already have the dictionary there, right? That's number 3. So the dictionary, you just follow that. It tells you what the simple components are. I've got J and H. J, as the dictionary gives us, John will make supper. J is John will make supper. Do take note when you look at the dictionary, it's the positive thing. So the not is a logical word that's going to get a symbol. John will not make supper unless he is very hungry. So performing step 1, right? Identifying the simple sentences, replacing them with their abbreviations. I'm going to do that and leave all the logical words in place, right? It's only in step 2 that I'm going to replace the logical words, the ones that I see, this is part of the skill, see and the words that I see and recognize as words that will get symbols. That's crucially here, you have to see that about unless. Those are going to get symbolizations in later steps, not in step 1. So my first partial translation is going to be not J, right? Not's going to get a symbol, so not J unless John is very hungry, H, right? So that's what it says. Not J unless H, right? Now what's the major operator? Is it not? Is it not brackets? J unless H, and then I figure out unless? No, it's not. The major operator is unless, right? Unless is the last thing in the order of construction. You should see that from the original sentence, right? The major operator is, let's say, not J unless H. Okay, what's the rule for unless? Unless is equivalent to if not. Whenever I say unless, I can replace it with if not, right? And so now this I can translate. My major operator is the if, right? So this is the hook. What's the rule for the hook? What follows the if is the antecedent, that is, goes to the left of the hook. That now is not H. Notice the not attaches, right? Just like the example we had with unless before, as we saw in part 10, right? Have it over here. When we translated unless to if not, the if was the major operator, and the not was subsumed. That's the sub-formula, attaches to the T there. Same here. So it's not H, hook, not J, right? So when I identified the major operator, put the components where they need to go. I might have written not J there. Put the components in the right place, but not G is a very simple translation. So it's just this. That's the answer. Not H, hook, not J. Always read it back. This says if John is not hungry, if it's not the case that John is hungry, then John will not make supper. If John is not hungry, then he will not make supper. That is equivalent to John will not make supper unless he is hungry. He's not hungry, he will not make supper. Yes, those are equivalent. All right, this is 4B. As Klenk says, very important advice, pay attention, especially for a long sentence like this, to punctuation. Punctuation tips you off as to what the major operator, where the major operator appears, and what it is. So, I will diet only if I am motivated, comma, and I will exercise only if I don't get too tired. Did I write that down right? For me? Yeah. Diet only if I'm motivated, and I will exercise only if I don't get too tired. The dictionary gives us these letters for the simple sentence. I will diet, D, M, I am motivated, I exercise, I will exercise is E, T is I do get too tired, notice T is I do get too tired, and here we have a, right, it's don't, N apostrophe T, you've got a C logical form in the N apostrophe T's, right? Don't, that's a negation. Okay, so partial translation, it's going to be, right, so see that all the logical words will remain in English. I'm only translating the simple sentences, so it's, I will die at D only if I am motivated M. I'm also leaving the comma in place, crucially. Notice that Klenk does that in her examples in section 4, see page 66 and 68. The partial translations all have the commas there, as I showed when I held it up. In part 10, D only if M, comma, and, I'm writing down and, I will exercise only if I don't get too tired, only if not T. Only if not T. Okay? Only if not T. Not's going to get a symbol. So I've got the English word. It's not T. It's the negation of T. Right? You could just write tilde T here. You can do that shortcut because nothing's going to be lost. But that's it, right? That's my partial translation. Simple sentences have been replaced with their abbreviations, their capital letters, right? All the logical words which will receive symbols remain in English. And now I turn to the task of identifying the major operator, which is the same as the task of discerning the overall logical form. Right? So what's the major operator here? Right? A comma gives it away. It's the and. So it's a conjunction. Right? So look at what I do now. I'm writing my, okay, this is crucial. This is the thing that I was sort of stressing, but now you'll see it in an example. It's crucial that I put the major operator down first because I have to ensure that the logical form of my string of symbols, that is my answer, is the correct logical form, right? So identifying the major operator straight away, or rather at this stage, after you've done the replacement of the simple sentences with letters, identifying the major operator and putting that major operator in place is crucial, right? Because you have to have your overall form, right? A bunch of stuff is going to go here and a bunch of stuff is going to go here. You have to have your overall form express the major operator of the actual sentence. You've got to get the overall form right? I want my thing, I don't know how much complexity is going to come unpacked here and how many parentheses are going to be connected, but I want to make sure that they appear as the conjunct of a conjunction, right? And I want to appear whatever this is going to turn into, and in other examples it's going to be big and huge and very, very horrible and ugly, but I've got to make sure that it appears as, in this case, the second conjunct of a conjunction. Okay, it's got to go in the right place. That's the stress on the identify the major operator and put the components in their right place. Right? It's especially important for conditionals because they swap position quite often. If it's blah blah blah, if the goes to the left of the hook, right? And that might be something complex, but you've got to put it in the right position and then figure out the logical form of that component. But the major operator is going to go there first. Put that in place so that you have the correct overall form. Okay, so it's D only, so I would write here, in my partial translation, I'd write D only if M, right? But now let me translate that. I remember the rule, what follows the only if is the consequent. It's D hook M, and E only if not T, so it's E hook not T, right? So I sort of skipped a step. I might have put D only if M in English, E only if not T in English, and then analyze those with their major operator, but I could do it all at once, so that was fine. Okay, that'll do.